Hi friends, welcome to WebChamp. So in this video, I am going to discuss text functions in a Power Automate. So if you are familiar with the text formulas in Excel, so same kind of formulas are available, but not each and every formula is supported in the cloud platform. And we will work with the cloud platform only, right? So for this video, we will create a one type of flow. We will create the variables with the string, and then we will start applying the formulas, right? So now if I come here, so what I did, I'll show you. Okay, so I created a three variable. This is first variable, which is going to hold my first name. This is going to hold my middle name, and this is the last name. Let's say I would like to apply the function, string function, to combine the all these three variables and to get the full name, right? So what we can do is, okay, here you can see the list of functions. If you see, few functions are supported here, but all these functions are supported in Power Automate Desktop, even in Power FX language also, but not with this Power Automate Cloud platform. So this could be supported in Power Apps also, or it could be supported in Power Pages also, wherever it supports, no problem, right? But these are the common functions I used across the many of the language, many of the programming languages, many of the, we can say, many of the applications, right? So I will start. Okay, so first the function is concat. I am going to combine any number of string, right? So here I have a three variables, so I will use first name. Okay, this will give me the first name. Then what I will do, I will use comma to separate the another text. And by using the single quotation, I will create one string with space, and that space becomes a separator for my two variable value, right? So middle name, then I'll give the comma. Again, I will use the space in single quotation, and then I will use the last name, right? Let me try saving this, and let's see the output when I run the flow, what it does for me. And yes, so this has been successfully completed, and you can see this is all the variables output is combined in a single string, right? So this is the concat function. What else functions we can apply? Okay, so substring, return a subset of character from a string, right? So you may want to slice, okay, so you can use substring. I'll select substring, pass the text first, then starting index, and then length. But text is like, okay, this is what my Brahmadev. Okay, this is what the text. Here you should use the single quotation and give the comma. And starting index is 1. I will say I would like to start slicing the data from 1, and for the number of character is nothing but 4. Now, if I say update, if I say save, and if I run this, so what it does, it will give me the 4 characters of whatever the text I passed there. You can pass the variable names also, but I just passed text. Okay, and you will be able to see. Okay, so index always start, meaning in Power Automate, index always start with 0. So you should use start index as a 0, and then it will start slicing from B. Otherwise, it started, I mean, when I use 1, it has started the slicing from R. So let me say update. Okay, in some tools, meaning in Excel, index start with 1, but in Power FX, the index start with 0. Okay, now if I run, you will be able to see it has sliced my first 4 characters, my name first 4 character. This is fine. Okay, now if I click on this, then let's say there is something called substring we use. There is something called slice. Return a section of string defined by the start and end index. See, in substring, you were able to pass the number of characters from the start index. Here the thing is different. Here it is like a slice, and it is going to slice the number of character based on the starting index and ending index, not a length, right? So again, I will say slice. Okay, slice. Then text is, I'll use this. Then the next parameter it is asking for, let's say I wanted to start with the third index, and I would like to get the, okay, so let me say fifth, sixth index until ninth index. Okay, so this is how slicing I wanted to do. You will be able to do. So let me save this and run. Okay, the both the functions work for the same, but it takes the different argument, right? And it has returned me the data from sixth index to ninth index, and that is Dev, right? So okay, I'm not there. Let me edit the flow. We will see the functions here only. List of functions, right? Slice we saw, how to use the substring we saw, how to use the concatenate we saw. Now how to use replace. Okay, so there is a function called replace. This function is also available in Excel with the same syntax. So first of all, text you would like to pass. Okay, I would like to pass the text. I will pass my last name as a text. Okay, then it will say, it will ask for the older text. So I will say Bram, or I will say Brahma. I would like to replace this text with the new text called Mahadev. Okay, so Maha. And new string, comma. Okay, this is what the requirement, right? Let me say update, say save, and run the flow. Right. So here you can see the input is my last name. Okay. And where the string is not matching, right? So here, if I say first name, see if the string is not matching, it will not perform anything, right? Until unless it found the things as given, then and then only it will work. Otherwise, this formula will not work. So problem was I specified my last name there and I tried to replace the content from my first name. So here you can see the Brahmadev is replaced with the Mahadev, meaning Brahma is replaced with Ma, right? So this is how the function called replace we can use. There is something called a substitute also. Something called a substitute also. So that function is a little bit later maybe come. Okay, but let me show you. Or it might be a chance that this function, okay, substitute is used, meaning I can say substitute is not supported, looks like, but if I say substitute, okay. So this substitute function is not supported in Power Automate Cloud Flows. Okay. So next, we will see only supported functions here, right? And replace is what something we saw. Okay, it is GUID, it is going to generate unique string ID. Then there is something called a to lower. This function is pretty much similar to the Excel function. If you say to lower, and then if you pass the any text value, it will convert all those values into a small characters. Similarly, we have something called a to upper. So this will convert all the characters of that string to a capital block, right? Then there is something called index. Okay. So if I say index and here, if I say the text is like our automation for YouTube, and I wanted to know the starting index of this YouTube. So you can simply say u, right? And then let me say update, save, and then run. So index of function will return the index of specific character in the string. So this u is exist at 27 number character in the whatever the string I passed there. Okay, then we saw how to use index of. Then there is something called nth index of. So it returns the index for a value. Nth occurrence in string. So first of all, it is asking for the text. Then it will asking for the search text, the whatever value we passed. And here, if I just modify this function like this, nth index of, okay, nth index of, and this is the function. And here, if I say you should offer, meaning you should occur, not offer, okay, you should occur second time. But this is not possible. Let me say yes. Okay, so I will search for the yes. Search for the yes. So what it does, wherever it matches with the yes, for the first time, it will skip that and it will return the index wherever it matches for the second time. This is what this parameter, last parameter defines on which occurrence you wanted to return the index of searched character in the string. Right. So on the 17th position, this is what happening. Okay. So now let me go and let me say once again edit. The way we find nth index, similarly, you can get the last index of. So let's say 10 times yes is getting repeated in your a complete paragraph of text. So what will be the last index of yes? If you say it will return, it will skip all the possible yes appearance of yes or index of yes, and then it will pick the last one only. This is how the logic builds. Then there is something called start with. If you want to check any string is starting with the specific character or not, you can use start with. Any string ending with the specific character or not, you can use ends with. All these functions are as it is, even pretty much simple functions, and these functions are common across the many platforms, right? Then split, if you want to split any specific string. Okay, so let me say split here. I wanted to split. Okay, how this returns? Okay, split. Then this is the text, and you should specify the separator here. So I should say separator is space. Okay, it will return the list of separated values from the string. So now if I run this, you will see output. It is returning. The output is like this. This is the list of values. Right. Let me edit this. Let me go back to the split. Okay, so I will say start with, ends with, split. We saw If there is a space around the text, you can use the trim function to remove the leading and trailing white spaces. That's it, right? Even format number. So format number returns a formatted number string, right? So even here you can pass the number, then we can pass. Okay, so let me try using these format numbers, what kind of arguments it accepts. So I will say 1000, then the numeric format string. Okay, so here you should specify what kind of numeric format string. So floating point, let's say I'm just saying, okay, float, and this is fine. Okay, even I'm not sure this is correct syntax or correct approach to use this or not. But let me try using the float type. This may throw error or may get successfully executed. Okay, this is executed. Input is float, output is float. Okay, so floating point number. So function arguments are like number and format. So even I need to see what kind of arguments should be passed. So I will say format number in Power Automate. Okay, so let's see how the arguments are used. Format data by example. I can say in Power FX formula. Okay, text function is also working, but not with this number. Okay, so this is something different. It is giving. Okay, this is what we are not looking for, and let me say we are looking for this. So I will say format number. Okay, this is let me try to reach out that F series. Maybe that function is not supported now. Filter, find first float. Okay, I can't see that format number function. Not sure how this is coming here, but yes. So need to see what kind of argument should be passed. See, initially it is number, but what kind of format should be passed? So here the numeric format string returns a formatted. Okay, this space is okay. So here you can see I should pass in the string format, and is like general number. Okay, let me try with this type of format, or maybe some other type of formats will be there. So need to see the number type formats or number formats in. Okay, so this works, but the result it is giving me as a general number. Format, and let's say this. The first argument is number. let me say formatted number string. Let me say 1000, and here if I pass 1000, here I will pass 100. Okay, and the second number is in text format. Oh, so what this function is doing, it is adding the number. Okay, so I passed 100 and 1000, so it is returning me the calculated number as a 1100, right? So sometime we may take a time to understand the behavior of function, but format number function, this is how it works, right? So these functions are also supported, but not in the Power Automate. So these functions are supported, meaning whatever the functions you can see here, these are supported in the Power Apps. But these are the part of Power FX. You can see. So if I say text function, so text function is there in Power FX. But this is, even it says desktop flow, it supports, okay, but cloud flow, it do not support. This is what I was trying to tell sometime before. These functions are supported in a Power Automate, but with the desktop, not with the cloud, right? So let me stop the discussion on the string functions in Power Automate. Thank you so much for watching the video. Have a nice day. Happy learning. Do not forget to subscribe. Webjam.